Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 26th to the 31st. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Taurus, welcome to one of the best weeks of the year of 2025, as well as one of the best new moons of the year. I hope you saw your annual forecast. They're still up if you want to take a look. When I said, hey, this is it. This is one of the best weeks of 2025 and one of the best New Year's or new moons. This is really exciting. And I think I reminded you in your last week's reading a lot that was going on, as well as think about January, February, March, even back to November, December, where things were just kind of like, Now we're here, okay? This is like night and day. We have not seen a week like this. Last week, yes, for sure. But there was a lot going on. And this is just really great. And the thing about last week, all those aspects that happened last week, especially over the end of the week, those once, twice a year aspects, they're spilling over into this week. That makes this week enormously special, okay? And all of them are really supporting this new moon, and they're bolstering this new moon. This is one of the best new moons. This is one of the best new moons, especially for you if you are here for money. I mean, are you here for money? It's in your second house of money, income, salary, finances. Listen, you're the native ruler of the second house, Taurus. This is going to be great for you, okay? Now, if you're not here for money, if none of that is second house is self-worth and self-value. This is like confidence boosting. There's something big happening right now. And you are on the brink of unbelievable change because of everything that happened last week. Saturn, Neptune, Ceres, right? First, that conjunction, right? Now you're feeling it. It's the first time in over 320 years, but you throw in Ceres. This is huge. This is big. And yes, I said they're conjuncting. They're not even just in Aries. They're all together at that 0-1 degree point right at the beginning of the beginning. And so they're merging their qualities, their energies. So it is a big deal. It's a really big deal. And in order to understand the magnitude of this week and this new moon, you have to know what happened last week. So take a look at what happened last week. I'll walk through a couple of things, but just know this is an enormously auspicious, feel-good, exciting week that me and millions of other people have been waiting for, because every astrologer out there has been talking about this new moon. This is really exciting. All right. So Monday, May 26th, and I'm going to dive deep. I'm going to tell you some things here. May 26th or the 27th, depending on where you live, right? That's when we have the new moon in Gemini. It's at 6 degrees at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. All right. That's on May 26th. Therefore, some people are going to feel it the next day. It's a super moon. So, easy explanation. It's just orbiting close to Earth, okay? So physically. So we've talked about the power of the moon. You will 1000% feel this, all right? This is really, really exciting. This is a new moon that's Mercury ruled. Gemini's ruler. Remember, over the weekend, Mercury moved into Gemini. So Mercury's now at home. So what does that even mean? First of all, this new moon is all about communication, business, writing, launching new things, launching businesses. Mercury, right? The messenger, so receiving messages as well. Mercury, the merchant, mercantile. Like I said, selling things, like opening businesses. This is a big one. It's a big one. It's siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, neighbors, so many like local community, family, a lot of things part of this new moon, as well as travel. All right. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, Gemini rules her second house. So a lot of y'all, I mean, when you do the math, you're going to be starting new businesses, or you're getting promotions, or there's something happening here with money, something that has to do with your business, or if you work for a company, or there's just so much here. Now, again, if you're not here for money at all, okay, It is material possessions, things in your physical world. Second house is also food. There could be something here with food, especially with Cirrus now, right? And I'll break that down. But this is really, really, really exciting. All right. It's writing. It's reporting. There's just so much here. But Mercury now in Gemini conjuncting the moon. So you've got Mercury and the moon making aspects with all the outer planets. I mean, you can't make this up. So they're sextiling Saturn and Neptune. They're conjuncting Uranus in your sign, Taurus. And you see their Mercury's trining the Pluto, right? You see that happening this week, but the moon is trining Pluto. And I know I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week. You know what happened over the weekend, and you're going to start feeling a lot of this over the weekend. The sun trined Pluto. So you have the sun, the moon, and Mercury trine Pluto in Aquarius that rules your 10th house. Taurus, let's do the math together. You got a new moon in your second house of income, salary, finances. You got Pluto in Aquarius with 3 planets aspecting, right? In your 10th house of career and fame. This is a big one for you. This is huge. I love this new moon for you, Taurus. And trines are enormously supportive and harmonious and, even bring luck on their own. I mean, they make things easier for you. 10th house, if you're not here for career, by the way, it's just whatever you're exerting your energy into that you want to be known for. But the 10th house definitely is public facing, okay? If you want to be known for the best, button finder in, Idaho, there you go. That's where you're putting your energy. Anyway, this new moon, very optimistic, very electric, cheerful, enthusiastic, fun, flirty, adventurous, enterprising, curious, creative, intellectual. That's how you're going to feel. It's very collaborative energy. It's Gemini, right? Very social, mingling, networking, all of that. You're going to experience that entire week. You're going to be interacting with others. And it is the last of 2 super new moons we have this year. The last one will be next month, right? And I did a June astrology overview. Check that out. I'll leave it at the end of the video, maybe in the description box. I talk about, remember, June is the luckiest month of 2025. This is a ramp up to it. There's just enormous things happening in June. That's so auspicious. And 2 things here. One, the new moon in 2025 is actually conjuncting Jupiter. When was the last time you saw that, right? And that one has a different flavor, though. It's very different from this one, but they're both on par as the best, right? And there's another one later there that I really love. The other thing is I talk about a lot of things in that video that I will not talk about in your June forecast, okay? Because there's just way too much happening in June. And as you can see, I'm already losing my voice. And thirdly, for you specifically, Taurus, there's gonna be something from this new moon that pretty much it's like a what do you call it? Like a slingshot, right? And you're going to feel possibly something on Thursday and Friday of this week. So if you're taking notes, mark that on the calendar. Possibly going to be a bigger thing for you when we get to June and for an entire year. All right. That is because Jupiter, as we know, is moving into Cancer in June. Okay. That Cancer natively rules your 3rd house, and Mercury is the native ruler of the 3rd house, right? So do you see the overlap here, right? There is something here that you're likely signing some agreement. You're launching a business. You're doing something here that's really, really big. Maybe you're teaching something. Maybe you're becoming a teacher, or maybe you're taking a course that, going back to school, doing maybe an online course, something essential. Maybe you're starting something online as well, like a website or something. 3rd house does rule the internet. So anyway, again, there's a lot happening for you. That's really nice. Now, all you have to do is plant seeds. That's it. Set intentions, put wheels in motion for this new moon. Sign contracts, have agreements, even verbal agreements. It's Mercury, right? The messenger communication. Plan trips. This is a great one. Okay. Short distance trips. Plan like mental seeds as well. It's Mercury. It's new ideas that can brew around this time for you. Remember, I said curiosity, creativity, new things that you want to bring into your life. Things that you're just like, oh, this is going to make everything so meaningful for me. There's so much happening for you. And I'm really excited for you, Taurus. You are on your path to enlightenment. This is your karmic journey. So remember, that is the inspired actions you take. You're going to see some great new paths open up for you. And remember, last week, you already have the keys. You saw your spread last week, by the way. What? All right. So that was bonkers. Speak to the moon. I say that all the time, right? Speak. What do you want? Tell the moon. Right? Speak things into existence. That's energy. Everything is energy. As above, so below. That's what we're here for. Especially the first 3 days when the new moon is really potent, okay? Kicking off this new cycle for you. Now, this is a 6-degree new moon. As I said, that's a mutable degree. Gemini is a mutable sign. And all you have to know is that you're adapting to change. Your life is changing, all right? And it's the Virgo degree. Virgo is another mutable sign, right? And what makes this so special? Well, a million things, but I'll tell you just two. Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. So when you have 6, 7 Mercury aspects from last week spilling over, as well as the ones on this side too, this week, with a Mercury ruled new moon, oh yeah, there's a lot happening here. In terms of everything that I said, third house related. But communication, writing, agreements, all of that, you're going to feel it, okay? And it's almost like I don't even have to tell you this because of all these aspects. Even if you're not interacting with others, which you will, you're a Taurus, right? And you've got this in your second house. You've got a lot happening for you. You are going to be getting emails. You're going to be getting DMs. You're going to be getting messages on your BlackBerry. You get people coming up to your door. Here you go, Taurus. You got a new moon in your second house. Here's, $1, $1,000, whatever you want. But you will be getting messages from friends, family, siblings, recruiters, neighbors, the people that give out LLCs, whatever you want. You've got to take that action, though. You're on the brink of a really big change right now. And ideas, remember, man, it's Mercury. So big ideas, breakthroughs, and shifts in perspective. Why? Because Mercury is in Gemini with Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter's in Gemini for 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. Can you believe that? 2.5-ish. So Jupiter, Jove, king of the gods, who brings luck and good fortune and wisdom and expansion, profit, abundance. This is higher mind. You have a stellium in Gemini, by the way, right? Mercury, the sun, Jupiter, the moon, and Hygeia. Oh yeah. Things are changing for you. Hygeia just left, right? Your side it's now in Gemini. Last week. You have Sedna here. They're both new in Gemini. All right. And I will do a separate video on Sedna and Gemini. One of the reasons why 2025 is such a big year. And remember, we're not even halfway through the year. You haven't seen anything yet. One of the reasons why you and the whole world is going to be seeing some big changes is because of Sedna. Remember, Pluto's newly in Aquarius. Pluto's leading the brigade. Sedna is right there with Pluto. Sedna hasn't been in Gemini in 12,000 years, last ice age. And so this is a really big deal with Sedna in Gemini. All right, at 0 degrees. That's a big deal. Uranus is leaving your sign and moving into Gemini in July. So Sedna will be with, Uranus. Anyway, Here's another thing. You've got options, Taurus, because I think I told you last week, when you've got Jupiter and Gemini, two things here. When you have Jupiter and a lot of, some outer planets, when they're leaving a sign, they leave you this parting gift, right? And you usually see that happen. Secondly, Jupiter's in Gemini, the twin. And so whenever you see Jupiter in Gemini, and all of this really depends on your chart too, you often get two opportunities, two paths. So pick the path that brings you the most joy and faith and expansion and self-belief. It's Jupiter. That's what Jupiter stands for, right? Jupiter, enhances everything it touches. So do what brings you joy, because it's a genuinely joyful new moon and a major upgrade for you. Okay, remember what's happening from last week, right? Saturn is now bringing you that stability, the long-term goals, right? Neptune bringing in that compassion, your ideals and creativity and heightened intuition and your vision. That's all about your vision. You got Saturn, Neptune, freshly new in Aries in 320 years, and freshly new in Aries, so that they're at that 0-1 degree point of initiating that pioneering energy. So tap into that energy. All right. And remember, it's Saturn, Neptune, and Ceres all conjuncting. This is powerful. And this is just, there's a new path opening up for you. All right. And a lot of that has to do with, remember over the weekend, and if you're watching this before, it's happening soon, Mercury conjunct Uranus in your sign, which is progress, it's innovation, it's your breakthroughs. Yeah? Mercury, the messenger. Huge. And then Pluto, empowerment, your power, your truth, unstoppable energy. You're about to become really, really like Shakespeare famous. He was a Taurus, by the way. Anyway, because it is your 10th house, just look at last week's reading. This is such an enormously special week. And don't forget, when you get Uranus leaving your sign, moving into Gemini in July, trining Pluto in Aquarius, starting in July for the entire year, connecting your second house of money and finances. Remember, you're the native ruler of the second house. Material possessions, your self-worth, self-value, things that bring you value, but also knowing your worth, right? When you've got Uranus here trining Pluto all year, Pluto in your 10th house of career and fame, your life is about to change in ways you've never seen. This is breakthrough upon breakthrough. All right. And remember, Uranus is coming back into your sign, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Okay. And then at that 29 degree point, I'll probably do a video on that, because this is a big deal. It's been since 2018. Anyway, what makes this day even more special for you, Taurus, before you even get to the new moon, remember, it's at night. There will be this mini golden triangle that I love. And it's the moon, Pluto, and Ceres. Yeah. Again, new in Aries. And it's happening at 3 degrees. And 3 degrees, and this is why this is just so bonkers, 3 degrees is the Mercury degree. It's the Gemini degree. We'll talk about it in the second spread. There's big stuff happening for you even before you get to the new moon. All right. If you are a cross watcher, if you watch for rising or moon, or for your sister or your husband, your postman, everyone will feel this new moon. It's that strong. And then remember, it's aspecting all the outer planets. Everyone will feel it. You're going to feel it. Everyone, but mutable signs. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces. I'm throwing in Aries, Libra, Leo, and Aquarius will feel it the most. If you know your birth chart, if you know your natal chart, if you have planets 3 to 6 degrees in Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, any of the air signs, or Leo or Aries, okay? You will feel it the most. I'll also throw in Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius, because truly the mutable signs will, all of them will feel this. Now, again, with a new moon, ask yourself, Where do you want to be in 6 months, right? I said this last week because this is important. Remember, visualize. You got Neptune here. But why the corresponding full moon in Gemini in December 2025, right before you get to 2026, which is the year. I've talked about this in your annual forecast. Year 10, the big year, the great reset. Speaking of 6 months, 6, new moon at 6 degrees. 6, beautiful. It's empathy, it's harmony, it's kindness, it's nurturing. Intuitive energy too. It's beautiful. It's again, joyful new moon. And really big tip, okay? Remember, the new moon, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my time. Any intentions you set, any plans, or do you plant? You want to do it at that time or after, okay? Very different from a full moon, all right? I get a lot of your comments and asking about that. So that's when the portal opens, okay? And Tuesday, May 27th is a great day to plant those seeds too. Because remember, you have the sun, moon, and now Mercury trining Pluto in Aquarius, all right? Tuesday, May 27th at 3 degrees. The Gemini degree, the Mercury degree. Listen, this is we only get Mercury trine Pluto twice a year. So this is really special. And I love it because there's so much happening with this. It's at the time of the new moon. And what this is confidence, it's empowerment, it's Pluto, but it's you being very influential with communication, okay? Impressing VIPs, bosses, authorities. It's Pluto. It's in your 10th house of career. VIPs opening doors for you, right? This is major. Again, this is connecting your 2nd house and your 10th house. So again, there's just some big career stuff or fame or something you're going to be honored with, achievements. And remember, this is you're going to feel this unroll throughout the week. This is a big one for you, Taurus. Money matters, big thing here. Business, big thing here. New projects, creative projects, really big. All right. What I love about Mercury trine Pluto, by the way, is it's Mercury and Pluto. And Mercury is in Gemini, the social, chatty sign, right? I'm a Gemini rising, and I'm a 0 degree Gemini rising, which means I embody all the Gemini traits. So, anyway, I always make a joke in the Gemini readings, like, I'm 0 degree Gemini rising. I'm more Gemini than you. And to be honest, it's true. It's not really a joke. But anyway, that's why it's important to look at your rising. This is Mercury trine Pluto. Yes, it's you making new friends, or it's someone having a really profound impact on you, okay? Everyone's going to feel this. It is that Pluto and Aquarius energy, friendships, community, the collective, humanity. A lot of this, again, for y'all, will be likely career related. There's likely career stuff here, but again, every Taurus, you have a different birth chart, you have different rising signs. It's going to affect you differently. Now, you got Pluto trine the moon, sun, and Mercury. All right. So keep that in mind. This is big. And please don't forget, this is going to be a big thing for you too. Mars is still in Leo. Yeah. And then you have the sun in Gemini, very active. The sun natively rules your 4th house. Mars in Leo, that's your 4th house. You got home stuff all week. Okay. Home, real estate, family, parents, children, your significant other. Maybe some of y'all are doing renovations. Maybe you're moving. There's just a lot of home and family stuff here for y'all this week. But regardless, just expect transformation. It's Pluto, personal growth, opportunities, Mercury trine Pluto, even good news that you've been waiting for could arrive now. Why? We had back in January, right? 2025, January 29th, Mercury conjunct Pluto. And so remember then, but Mars was in Cancer. Everything was retrograde. You remember? So this is special. You're going to love this. And it is at 3 degrees. And so remember the Mercury degree. So feel curious and expressive and be social and open-minded to new experiences. All about the new here. And remember, it's sextiling Saturn, Neptune, and Ceres. All right. All freshly new in Aries. This is big. And remember, they're all conjuncting. So, new path, new beginnings. Everything's changing with you. Out with the old, in with the new. Now, here's the thing, Taurus. All right. There's always a thing. There's not always a thing, but it's a lot of mercurial energy. A lot. I said, 6, 7 aspects. Mercury in its home sign as well, with powerful aspects. You had Mercury conjunct Uranus in your sign. Remember, it was over the weekend, so you will feel that still throughout this week. Yeah. With all this mercurial energy that's really strong, it can be too chatty, too cerebral, a bit scattered. It can be overthinking, overanalyzing. It's like think before you speak energy. Let's think before we speak, because you can feel a little bit restless. It is Mercury. Mercury rules the nervous system, right? You got things to say, right? You have things to do as well. So just bear that in mind, because there is kind of like with so much of this energy, it can also be, especially for you, because it is what's happening for you. Some like, let's read the room energy, like that. All right. I'm just letting you know that's what is happening here. As long as you're being your authentic self, you're being mindful, get it? You're going to be fine, because it's all about the mindset. And then remember, you throw in Saturn and Neptune and Aries as you enter this brave new world, like things opening up for you, you being that visionary, compassionate leader, role model, hero, all of that, right? You're going to be fine. As long as you avoid, oh, how funny. As long as you avoid the lower expressions of delusion, confusion, escapism, everything that we talked about last week, you'll be fine. Okay. Because this week can be very transcendent for you. And don't forget, everything is made of energy. And that does include your thoughts, the words that come from your mouth, the words you write in an email, or you know what I mean? So that's the energy you're putting out there. So remember, you always want to vibrate at that high frequency. This is a high frequency week. All right. Don't forget the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Who said that, Taurus? Leave it in the comments. No Googling. No Google. You get it. I'll give you a sticker. Okay. I'll give you, well, I don't know. One of these guys from Star Trek. I don't know. Is that Spock? I tell you, I'm in a sticker club. Anyway, what's not on the whiteboard, and this is why you're really going to feel this. You're really going to feel what's happening this week. Thursday and Friday. Oh, I think I told you this. The moon, which rules Cancer, will be in Cancer. So you have the moon in its rulership this week too. So home, family, loved ones, all of that, your emotions heightened around this time, but you're going to be feeling it all week. Okay. And remember what I said, Cancer rules your third house. That's Gemini's home. So you're going to feel all this Gemini, this Mercury energy all week. All right. Now, one thing I'm just going to bring to your mind here, and you know, we usually talk about this in the second spread, where we talk about the asteroids, the planetoids, the lunations, including the moon in Cancer, and the aspects that I need you to know. The moon will square Ceres. All right, I'm just letting you know. Remember, Ceres is in your 12th house, which is the subconscious. What is the moon? The subconscious, okay? What else is the moon? The feminine, right? The mother, right? That Ceres is also, Ceres is Persephone's mother, all right? The mother archetype. And so when you have the moon square Ceres, that's a thing. I talk about in your June astrology overview to give you like a little preview of what we talk about in the bonus spread. So check that out, okay? Because it is a big deal. Do you live near your mother, or do you live far away from your mother, right? Do you live far from her? Do you need distance from her? Is that a thing? And if not mother, grandmother, if not grandmother, a maternal figure, if not that, for what's happening for y'all, it definitely can be someone like a boss, like a female boss, by the way, or something, right? That's the moon square Ceres. And again, this is very new for everyone with Ceres First time in Aries. Yeah. Anyway, Thursday, May 29th, Friday, May 30th, you've got the Mercury cazimi. Okay. And you will feel it Thursday strongly. And then on Friday is the day that's the perfection. So you will really feel it Friday. Okay. So what is this? The sun conjuncting Mercury and Gemini. Mercury is the planet of the mind, right? And now it's in the heart of the sun. So think about that alignment. Remember, this is all in your second house, right? And yeah, we have cazimis a couple times a year. But why is this one special? Because Mercury is in its rulership in Gemini with the sun in Gemini. Don't forget, you got Jupiter here in Gemini, but this cazimi at 9 degrees, another mutable degree. And this is the Sagittarius degree. That's kind of a big deal. Why? Because Jupiter is a ruler of Sagittarius. And this, everything here, is in the first decan of Gemini. So Jupiter and Mercury are really strong right now. Okay? You're gonna feel their energies really strongly. And, Sagittarius rules your 8th house of money too. That's shared resources and assets and investors and investments and inheritance. And so you see how like money's a thing for you. And this is a casino. This is just this refresh, right? This clarity of the mind. It's very Ace of Swords. It's also wake up call, especially because you're likely still feeling at this point Mercury conjunct Uranus in your sign from last weekend, right? So you're going to have, and again, yeah, it can be breakthroughs. It can be messages you're getting, right? That or even maybe surprising. There can be something here that's really special for you. All right. And by the way, if there's any buildup of thoughts, overthinking, overanalyzing, all of that, this cazimi is clearing the decks. So this is an enormously special cazimi. All right. Now, where are we? Not on the whiteboard. One last thing for you, Taurus. I'm going to give you 2 more things. Okay. And these are big. We're talking about the weekend where you are going to have the moon in Leo. So how fun, how exciting, right? We love the moon in Leo. That's fun. Okay. We'll talk about it in the second spread. I'll tell you what to expect. But again, big emphasis on home and family. All right. And that the foundations of your life. But the other thing, Juno, that's still trining the North Node, right? Will square Mars all week. All week. And remember, Mars is in Leo too, in your 4th house. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of home and family stuff all week. And there'll be maybe something here. It depends on how you use this energy. Okay. That's it. Remember Juno, Jupiter's wife, by the way, she's a big deal, who is in Scorpio in your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and legal matters and contracts. Remember, that's what this week is with all this Mercury energy, signing things, having conversations, having important Zoom calls, things like that, launching businesses. But the fact that you have Juno square Mars, Juno in Scorpio in your 7th house, and Juno is linked to Libra. So Juno is all about truth, justice, and the balance of power in partnerships and relationships and contracts and marriage and legal matters and all that. Squaring Mars, big, all right? And they're going to perfect over the weekend. So you will feel it over the weekend really strong. And the one last thing, again, I talk about this in the June astrology overview. Over the weekend, we have something rare. And this is on Sunday, June 1st, which is why I included it in the June astrology overview. Your ruling planet Venus will be conjuncting Chiron and Eris, who is Mars's sister, the goddess warrior, with the wounded healer, with Venus. So if you are here for money or love or relationships or old wounds or breakups that happen that you're still healing from, or even in work related matters or money or, creative projects or things like that. Just watch what I say. All right, let's get started in the June live stream. All right, let's get started, Taurus. What an amazing week. One of the best weeks of the year. Let's get started. You're amazing, Taurus. Let's see what's going on for you. May 26th to the end of the month. Taurus. Okay. Taurus, how are y'all doing? Y'all all right? I love y'all. Y'all are amazing. Okay. So Taurus, I do a traditional cult across spread, offers the best overview. If we need to, especially for a week like this, oh yeah, it's a big week. And if we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. Secondly, I love y'all. I showed you my Venus flytrap, right? I named it Venus. Let me know if you have a better name for it. I know that one's just so easy. But Venus is your ruler. I think I told you this last week. Anyway, let's get started. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, things are just really going to take off for you. They're good. Mm-hmm. You want one? I'll give you. Yeah, you'll get a. The biggest thing I want you to remember, and you see it clearly here, there's a difference between the physical mind and the higher mind. I want you to lean a little bit to the higher mind, or at least merge the two. Yeah? When you got Saturn, now, and listen, remember, you have what I just said, Saturn now in Aries, your 12th house. Neptune now in Aries, your 12th house. Ceres now in Aries, your 12th house. But don't forget, you got Venus in Aries, your 12th house. You have Chiron in Aries, your 12th house. You have Eris in Aries, your 12th house. So don't forget that you have a lot happening in that 12th house area of your chart. You got Temperance, all right? Amazing. You're going through some really big changes, really big transformation that is absolutely amazing. You have an archangel. So moving into this week, remember the big message from last week, practice patience, right? Great. That's what this card is. It's, moderation as well. It's not going to extremes. It's just the right amount. Okay. And this is, you have Archangel Michael saying, hey, you're on a path. There's a new path for you right now. Okay. And you're going to get there. I got you. I'm watching over you. You're good. So don't stress. Don't worry. Don't do any of that. And you're going to be fine. Okay. This is saying enjoy life. Enjoy everything that's happening for you right now. All right. Because if you stress, if you worry, that takes away, right? You're denying yourself that, moment of enjoying life. Right. So you're going to be fine. Because you also got the High Priestess in the Heart of your spread. And so the High Priestess, highly associated with the moon, right? You even see the sliver of the moon at her feet. You see her headdress, the different phases of the moon, right? And so you've got a new moon that's really powerful, kicking off this new cycle for you, a 6-month cycle. You have really strong lunations this week. I told you particularly, when you've got the moon in Cancer, right? Your 3rd house, that's Gemini's home. But then you have the moon in Leo over the weekend. In your 4th house, the moon is a ruler of the 4th house. So this entire week, a lot of this emotions and feelings and intuition and subconscious, and you're connecting, okay? You're connecting. That's all it is, okay? Remember I said, even if you want to look at the columns, right? If you want to just physical mind, higher mind, if that helps you remember, that's it. Okay. The other thing is that, yes, this is very, very let's go within and trust our intuition. She is the guardian of the subconscious. I just told you 6 planets, asteroids, planetoids that are in your 12th house this week. Okay. So 12th house is a subconscious. It's intuition, it's spirituality, and it's healing as well. But it's also if they're the lower expression would be like self-sabotage and things like that, right? So you're going to be fine as long as you don't get in your own way. Why? That's the only thing. So remember what I said with all this Mercury energy. It can be a little, yeah? So let's start with the Eight of Swords in your challenge area. The good news is when I see what's happening here, it's almost like, yeah, there's it's like you're coming out of something, okay? You're coming out of something that may have been, and that Mercury Kazemi is going to help, all right? This is what we call the self-victim card. So so this is self-sabotage, right? It is in your challenge area, but the bigger energy that I'm getting is you're coming out of something in your consciousness. Now you're like facing it, but you have to face it, okay? Let's put it to bed, okay? That's a great, and what's really interesting is the Eight of Swords is, attributed to Jupiter and Gemini. Interesting, right? It is, what did I say? The first decan of Gemini. And this would be the first decan right here. So Jupiter is actually detriment in Gemini, right? But it doesn't, all planets are, anyway, what this is saying, the lower expression of Jupiter in Gemini, remember Jupiter expands, overthinking, overanalyzing, right? To the point where you can't face your truths and your reality. It's overthinking things and maybe even too much information, that kind of energy. And so this is really, yes, they're swords. Swords are up here. Swords are your thoughts. Swords are your ideas, processing, analyzing. Swords are communication, all of that too. Okay, I said Mercury's going to be really strong this week. So just don't overanalyze things. That's it. Secondly, yeah, there may be someone that is, you have partnership stuff happening all week, okay? With Juno highly active, squaring Mars, Juno, right? In Scorpio, your opposite sign of partnerships and relationships. That can be love, that can be career, that can be your lawyer, agent, sister, whoever. It does seem like there may be something associated with that, okay? For some of y'all. Now, that's part of the Seven of Swords story too. Seven of Swords is in your crown. So what is this saying? Look at what's happening here. It's all saying, let's accept some truths, put it to bed, and move forward with this new moon, okay? Let's just accept some realities, whether it's happening now or it has happened. If it has happened, why are we still carrying it, right? That's all it's saying. Seven of Swords, this card is associated with lying, cheating, stealing, deceit, dishonesty, disloyalty. A lot of that energy exists in this card. And there may be something here where you have to face your reality about that, like being honest with yourself about something. Or if there's something happening within your world where you identify, okay, someone is doing something really deceitful to me. It can be a partner, it can be a colleague, whatever resonates with you. This card is actually attributed to Moon in Aquarius. So yeah, it can be something with career here too. Okay, so work stuff may be a thing. But at the end of the day, whatever is happening, you can't just let it keep happening. You've got to stand up and be like, no, that's not right. I don't feel good about it because I'm trusting my intuition and that does not feel right. And so that's that energy this week. There just may be something here where just don't let this, other person get away with something. There's a reason why this man here is stealing the swords in broad daylight. Is meant to be caught. All right. So keep that in mind. Now, the other thing is when you have 6 heavenly bodies in your 12th house, and then you've got Juno, who it works in your favor, right? She's all about the balance of power and truth and justice and partnerships and relationships. There is an energy here. The 12th house is also hidden enemies. Yeah. And so it seems like you're going to recognize someone that maybe you thought was on your side or supporting you, maybe not. And that's when you're like, ugh, right? And like, I'm just gonna, no, you've got to, right? Because what's going to happen if you don't that's just going to stay up here, right? So you just want to work with that energy. You're starting a new path, a new journey. Everything's happening for you this week. So this is all about just kind of like clearing that headspace and and being a little bit more right here, right? With that high priestess energy. And remember, she is the guardian of the subconscious. She's got you. You've got Archangel Michael. He's got you. All right. You're good. You're fine. This is just saying, if there's anything that would get in your way, it would be you this week. Okay. That's honestly, and up here. And again, I already told you all that mercurial energy can be a lot. And so just try not to overanalyze, overthink, or, avoid things that you intuitively know. All right. We got to, right? Because what a beautiful new journey you're on. You have the Magician and the Rudier spread. You've got the power this week. You can have anything you want. Remember, this new moon, I told you, is very powerful for you. And it's card 1. You're starting this brand new journey. Don't let anything get in, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be fine. You're going to be really great. All right? You're going to be wonderful. I love the fact that you got both the Magician and the High Priestess, right? Card 1, card 2. You need both to, as part of your journey moving forward, all right? So first card in the Major Arcana. So brand new journey. And what did I say before? As above, so below, okay? Hand to the sky, hand to the ground. What's happening up there, bring it into your reality. This is a card of action. And secondly, this card is attributed to Mercury. So, whoa. Speaking of, there you go. You have the 8 of Wands in your future, attributed to Mercury and Sagittarius. So, you're good. And this is movement, right? Remember, Mercury is Hermes, so it's things are happening. Things are happening for you fast. But let's clear that energy. That's all it is. Okay, so there's, you see the wands just completely aligning now. Everything's aligning for you. Remember, I said a lot of you have career stuff happening, work stuff happening, profession, all of that. I mean, it's wands. But again, if you're not here for that, this is also, wands is your ambitions. Wherever you're putting that energy, everything is aligning, everything's happening. And yeah, movement. This is movement. This is fun and exciting. All right. The wands in their happy place. Really great. We also call this arrows of love, if you're here for love. So wonderful. You're good. You're absolutely good. And remember what I said, Sagittarius rules your 8th house. 8th house is truly like, death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, right? Pluto being the native ruler of the 8th house. And so it's also partnership, relationship, building them really deep, right? It's amazing. And again, it could be business partners and whatnot, and money. Let's get to your stuff. Taurus. If you like this reading, it would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. You deserve this new moon. You deserve, and listen, you just came out of your birthday season. You want new things. Let's get to your stuff. Okay. So, okay. Yes. How crazy. What is happening here? You are what? Okay. You're absolutely good, but we'll talk about that. Yeah. I'm sorry, that one. Yeah. So, 7, 8, 9 of swords. Again, a lot happening up here. We'll talk about it. But before I even get there, hello. You see what's happening here? Look at this. First let's start with it. Okay. So let's start with this. 10 of Cups. Happy everything. This is a lot of joy. This is enjoyment, right? Enjoying life. Okay? The word joy lives in the word enjoyment. The only rainbow in tarot. This is cups, emotions, feelings, love, gratitude. This is intuition. This is wonderment. All of that. Yes, it is a word. Look at the happy couple, the happy kids. There's a state of just joy and happiness here that, it's really nice. I love this. Okay. This is just continue moving in that direction. It's like a lot of this week, with Mercury being highly active, yeah, I said shift in perspective. Have that shift in perspective. You especially, out of all the signs, but with what's happening here, there's going to be some shift or something that you may intuitively, something's going to come up and you're like, okay, I got to really think about this. But that's the same thing with, this card is just that there's something that's so nice waiting for you, but you've got to be able to know and believe that it's there. Shift in perspective. And I'm only saying that with that 7 of Swords there and the 9 and the 8. Now you got the World. I mean, your life is changing. You know that. Okay. So the fact that you got the Magician right here in the root of your spread, you got the World, the end of the major arcana, but it's in your external factors area. So this is just amplifying the message. You are on a new journey. Something is coming to an end and it's happening fast. All right. So trust your intuition. All your answers are there. If you have questions, all your answers are inside you. That's what the High Priestess is saying. You got all the knowledge. You got it. It's all inside you. That wisdom, everything's inside you. You're good. You even see you're in this card. And remember, out with the old, in with the new. What did I say last week? The World attributed to Saturn just moved into a new sign. Out with the old, in with the new. This is going to be a big thing for you. And you're here, like I said, right? The 4 fixed signs in the corners of the World, and you see the dancing figure dancing for a reason. So feel that sense of accomplishment. Feel that like you made it to the end. You're beginning the new, and then you also got the Wheel of Fortune. So you got the only 2 cards in all of tarot where you see the 4 fixed signs in the corners. And again, you are a fixed sign, but this is just, just think stability, right? There's this something happening for you that's secure. It's locked and secured. Wheel of Fortune is attributed to Jupiter, and it is a 10, and that's why this is really bonkers. This is a new karmic fated path opening for you. Okay, karmic, right? We've talked about karmic journey. You're good. You're absolutely good. Just continue moving in that direction. It's a lot of this is just really like trusting yourself, being in touch with your emotions and your intuition, okay? And not doubting yourself and not letting, even to a degree, when you see that 9 of Swords, not letting other people get to your head too this week. Yeah? All right? This is taking your power. All right? With that Wheel of Fortune here. And remember, the Wheel of Fortune, did I say is card 10? So 1 0 equals 1. So again, that new path, you have the end here, you have a 10 here, right? You have that 1 here. So you've got a lot of like endings, new beginnings, endings, new beginnings. Now, the 9 of Swords and your final outcome. This is why, remember, this is all potential. This is why you got to trust your intuition. Because if this is not taken care of, yeah, there can still, you're still moving into this new journey. You're still having this new thing happen for you. But do you really want to bring that baggage that you didn't take care of, that you, as you move into this new journey, this new path, this new beginning? No, right? So that 9 of Swords, another Gemini card. This is actually Mars and Gemini, but either way, this is still all about the mind. Okay, Gemini is all about the mind and communication, but there's a sense of it just feels like someone else is involved here. And again, you have to trust your intuition and to recognize who that person is that's making you feel a certain way. And if it's even circumstantial, like there's a circumstance that's happening here, again, it feels connected to this. But you see what's happening here. So there is this new path. And even if it's on your new path, do you want that to take up your headspace as you begin this new path? No. So you see this person here, she's blindfolded. He's looking back, right? So we're not looking at the past anymore. I said out with the old, in with the new. And this person is covering their face. They can't see. And so you've got to see. How do you see? Here. Okay, your intuition, trusting your intuition. All right, that's all it is. And with this, yeah, this is just feeling so much passion. You see the roses in tarot, It's like passion. It's that blood. It's that, right? The red roses. You even see them up here with the magician. Okay. So anyway, this is saying, get moving. Let's get out of that bed. It's all over the comforter here, right? You even see all the beautiful astrological symbols in the comforter too. There's great things happening for you, but you got to like get that blood flowing. You got to do things, right? So let's take care of this. Let's pull those swords out one by one. How do you do that? All comes back to this: trusting your intuition and taking those inspired actions, knowing you're protected. You're starting this new journey. Okay. How much time do we have, Taurus? Okay. Taurus, listen, that's all you got to do. You're going to be fine. You're on a new path. Everything's happening for you. Everything's aligning for you. You're on a new path, new journey, out with the old and with the new. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. And yes, second spread. We will, there it is. We will talk about the lunations. We will talk about Juno square Mars, because clearly it seems like that is going to be a big thing for you this week. But like I said, you can use it. You can make that work in your favor. And then I'll tell you one day not to sign contracts. This is a week where you got a lot of mercurial energy, but everything that we talk about in the second spread, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Y'all are amazing. Next week, we will. We're here. June, the luckiest month, and that's the other thing. There's something here. There's something about the mindset. I mean, let's clear that energy before you move into the luckiest month of 2025, right? Anyway, y'all are amazing. Taurus, and okay, I'll clarify that in the second spread. Thanks so much, Taurus. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.